There's close to 3,000 deaths now in Africa from Ebola. Many experts believe it's much higher. They estimate 30,000 people have contracted it. They believe it'll be over 100,000, the World Health Organization does, by December, perhaps higher. Many virologists looking at the viral spread maps are talking about 5 million people dying. Of course, that was in Bild, major German publication last week with one of the top virologists speaking in the country. I don't know if that's true. I know that the policy has been don't bring Ebola patients to Western countries. Treat them on ships if they're U.S. citizens or Western citizens. Now they're bringing Ebola patients to the United States and to basically every European country. Spain, Germany, they're all taking them. Extremely dangerous situation in my view. Here's some of the headlines. U.S. to commit up to 3,000 troops to fight Ebola in Africa. Another article, 6,000 UN peacekeepers not trained to fight Ebola are being deployed. That's out of WorldNet Daily. Ebola crisis could last for years if not controlled quickly, is what testimony to Congress is basically saying. When one of the doctors that survived Ebola that was taken back to the U.S. testified, that's in the Wall Street Journal. American doctor recalls horror of contracting Ebola. Obama warns America can't dawdle on Ebola as he warns African epidemic could infect hundreds of thousands and jeopardize U.S. national security. Well, the panic and hysteria that it's already causing in Sierra Leone, Liberia, and other areas has threatened to bring those countries completely down. And they're already locking up whole areas of cities and just throwing people in and putting barbed wire up around like the Warsaw Ghetto in World War II. It's just really pitiful to see the video feeds that we've played here of folks with Ebola starving, trying to climb out and being stopped by the police and being drug off in containment vehicles to be thrown back in. But what are you supposed to do when society starts to collapse? And do you want those jobs of those police and those military and of the hazmat teams that are one of the biggest groups contracting Ebola? That's another issue. People in full hazmat gear are getting it. Now, if you can't get it except by saliva or inhaling it, then why is it spreading? We know versions of Ebola have gone airborne before, as evidenced by declassified Army documents that were first disclosed on Nova in 1990. We've played that clip here multiple times. I'm tempted to play it again. Now, continuing, Obama warns America can't dawdle. Speaking from the CDC yesterday, we have to act fast, he warned. We can't dawdle on this one as he brings Ebola patients back to the U.S. I have no confidence in Obama. And quite frankly, this stinks of being a weaponized Ebola and the perfect global crisis. And I've been predicting we'd see bioweapon releases in the last year because it just fits into this. I mean, they're giving al-Qaeda chemical weapons to launch attacks on Assad. They turned Libya over to al-Qaeda 3 years ago, and are now talking about U.S. military having to go in there to stop them. People say, wow, Obama screwed up arming al-Qaeda. Libya is a failed state. That was the plan to bring down Africa. Libya was sustaining and industrializing the entire continent. And they wanted to create a African Union that would actually let Africa get its own resources and build its own infrastructure. And that's a big no-no under UN Agenda 21, and not just for Africa. Obamacare is meant to shut down small business. Obamacare is meant to shut down small companies. All the Cloward and Piven carbon taxes are meant to shut down our factories and jobs. And you know what? They're doing a great job with it. So this fits into the overall global depopulation plan that they openly write about in all these globalist publications. Remember what Prince Philip said? He told Der Spiegel, and he also told the World Wildlife Fund General Congress. You can pull up his 2 quotes. And in the foreword to If I Was an Animal. Prince Charles's book, Prince Philip had the foreword, and he said, I would like to come back reincarnated as a deadly virus to wipe out the majority of humanity to contribute something in the culling of the herd. Now, that's probably a perfect quote, or I may have conflated the 2 quotes. You can pull up Prince Philip's quote about being reincarnated as a virus. Okay, that's all I'm saying. You got Dr. Pianka at UT There it is. Wannabe virus. Prince Philip attacks big families. There's an article right there. The London Times. You can click on that. But we'll get you the actual quote. Just amazing. These people are the prime suspects. Ebola poses a new challenge for U.S. military. Wall Street Journal. Ebola crisis spiraling out of control. Close quote. Obama warns. It's all coming up. We're going to tell you about how they're now claiming open the borders up to stop Ebola. I'm not kidding. That's coming up. That's Dick Durbin, the top Democrat on the amnesty end. Can't make this stuff up. The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the info war. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv. Visit Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com. When you're on the site, you can also tune in 24 hours a day to my daily radio broadcast. There's also a free iPhone app to listen to the syndicated radio show when and where you want.